silver and black. A lot of bread invested in that O-line. Car insurance cost the arm and the leg to reach that goal line. It's go time.
Good afternoon, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It is your boy Darian coming to you live with another live stream. It is the Spotlight Sports Network. Shout out to all the subscribers that have subscribed to your YouTube to the YouTube page. If this is your first time ever being at the YouTube page, we do suggest that y'all subscribe and hit the bell button. Get the latest news in all Raiders news here, man. First and foremost, I do want to thank everyone for being in the live stream last night. For the Monday Night Football game, I really do appreciate everybody's love and support for coming in. We officially hit 5,500 subscribers. The road to 6K is here, so let's try to get 500 more in the chat. Second thing I want to do is I want to say it was one of the craziest Monday night games I've seen in a while when it came to the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not gonna really. I said what I said. If you have not seen my community post, you saw. I mean, if you didn't see it, I'm not gonna really repeat myself. My thing is like I said, I kind of apologize because I was a little intoxicated last night watching this game, and I wanted to say, I mean, it is me. Don't get me wrong. I am who I am. I like to talk trash. I like to talk trash to my own team. I like to talk trash about my own team. I like to talk bad about them. I like to talk good about them. So, in my defense, I was just, I was just in the heat of the moment because people fail to realize that I do this all the time. I have people call in and bash Derek Carr and bash these players and everything. And some things I said maybe didn't mean to be said. Didn't mean to be said. So with that being said, shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody that was here last night. Make sure y'all share this live. Share this live, share it to your YouTube, share it to your Twitter, share it to everywhere. I'm not apologizing for being me. It's just certain things that I said during it I wish I didn't say. You know what I'm saying? So it's just some things that I'm just not allowed to say on YouTube. So I got to keep it to a minimum. I'm just a passionate Raiders fan, bruh. I'm just a passionate Raiders fan, and I was born and raised in the city of Philadelphia. If y'all know how those Eagles fans are, this is how I am. This is how Philly people are on a regular basis when they're passionate about their sports. And that's how they are. What's going on, Arku? Thank you for is there a way I could get notifications for the live streams? You got to turn your notifications all the way on. So when you hold the bell, you got to put all notifications on, Jonathan. Yeah, Leatherwood definitely got a wake-up call last night. But at the same time, I just felt like some things I just, I can't get like that. Some things I just won't say anymore on here. But I mean, I spoke my mind, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all like my Raiders cup. I know that thing fire. But I just wanted to get that off my chest. Where's Hammer? Hammer is at work. Hammer's at work and John is at work, so I usually do these by myself. You got to ease up on Leatherwood. Remember how many mistakes Colton Miller had when in his rookie year. I understand that, and I'm address Alex Leatherwood. Like I said, anybody, if you're new to the channel, you're not going to understand this. And people that know me that you get a guy so high in the draft as Alex Leatherwood, right? He wasn't even projected to be a first rounder. Rashawn Slater had a better game than Alex Leatherwood in week 1. It don't have nothing to do with being a rookie. What's going on, Doc's Entertainment? What's going on? Shout out to Graphk Raider, man. He was at the game last night. Shout out to the bro. Chat Game is in the building. Make sure y'all wipe them feet, man. Make sure y'all wipe them feet. But like I said about Alex Leatherwood, I'm not changing how I feel about Alex Leatherwood. I'm not changing how I feel about Alex Leatherwood because Rashawn Slater played against a better defense in the Washington football team. It didn't allow a sack going up against Chase Young on Sunday as a Chargers offensive lineman. And I'm talking to this not just as a Raiders fan. I'm talking to this as a football fan and as a former football coach. I mean, people say Leatherwood held his own on that last play. He did. But he played like shit. And that's just my opinion. You're entitled to yours. You're entitled to mine. I just feel like better offensive line rookies had a better day that went after Alex Leatherwood that played better than him. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Yeah, but he allowed the sack. He allowed the sack. And Rashawn Slater didn't. But my thing is I've been saying this for a long time. And I'm not going to get hype. I'm not going to get like that. I just don't feel like Leatherwood should have been our first round pick. He shouldn't have been. He's not a first round talent. And it showed last night why he's not a first round talent. I don't think he looked good. Docs, we can agree to disagree, but I don't think he looked good. This was a guy coming out of college, that led college football in penalties as a pass blocking offensive lineman. Like I said, he's a great when it comes to the run. If we saw the game last night, when it comes to the run game, Leatherwood looked great in the run game. When it came to the passing game, I don't think he held his own against the pass. I just don't think he held his own. That's just me looking as a former coach of myself and teaching an offense and teaching an offensive line. His technique was really off. He couldn't get his jump off quick enough. And think about this. I'm not looking at it from a fan's point of view. I'm looking at it for a blocking in a technique type of view. That's how I look at players when they're drafted. I just don't look at them because what they did in college. I don't look at that. I look at them for their technique and how they perform in the game. And against the pass, Leatherwood didn't do great. In the run game, if you ran to Leatherwood's side, in the run game, it looked good. But in the pass game, it just wasn't his best night. That's just my opinion on it. Let's get to Derek Carr. And everybody had a problem with me saying about Derek Carr last night. Whoever was in the chat last night, right? Whoever was in the chat last night. Derek Carr, everybody knew I got on him when he had bad throws. I felt like Derek Carr threw it to Waller a bit too much in this game. I feel like the first half, he was forcing throws to Waller. That's just my opinion. I understand that he's our best receiving tight end. He's our best player. I can understand that. But Carr was throwing to Waller a bit too much. You waited too late to get these young receivers in the game. You got to get them young. You got to get them early in the game. You got to give them that confidence in the beginning of the game. I understand we couldn't run the football, but you have to get your younger guys involved. And even John Gruden said, I don't know if y'all was in the conference. I don't know if y'all was in the conference or not. That press conference that John Gruden just said, he said he needs to get Zay Jones and Willie Snead more involved in this offense. And he said he has to get Henry Ruggs and Brian Edwards going early. He said it. And I said it in the stream yesterday. Did or did I not? I said you got to get these receivers going. Ruggs and Edwards are still two young receivers. That is unproven. We all know Waller is the star when it comes to the receiving game. But to get the double teams away from Waller, you got to get others involved. And that comes from a play calling standpoint, and it comes from a Derek Carr standpoint. Derek Carr played phenomenal last night. We're going to go through the box score today, but he has to spread the football out a little bit more. The guy had 19 targets. Darren Waller had 19 targets. He only had 10 receptions. Those 9 could have went somewhere else. You can rely on Willie Snead last night because there's no way you don't put Willie Snead in the game for the whole game and expect him on an overtime play to catch a football. You just can't. I don't think Willie Snead needs to be cut. How can you cut a guy that didn't play all 4 quarters and you throw him in at overtime? It doesn't make sense. That's on John Gruden. You gotta blame John Gruden for that. You just can't throw a wide receiver out there on ice where he haven't played the whole game until overtime. You can't do that. So people have to fail to realize, as a former football player myself, if I am a wide receiver or a tight end and I sit the bench all 4 quarters and you put me in overtime, I'm rusty. I watched the whole game for 4 quarters, and now you decide to throw me in overtime? That's on John Gruden. That's on John Gruden. They get paid millions of dollars, but it doesn't matter. Dominique, it doesn't matter. You can get paid millions of dollars, but if you're not on the field for 4th quarter, if you're not a football player, you won't understand it. If you're not a football player, you won't understand it. I've been through that where I've sat the whole 4th quarter and you expect me to run the football. And I played professional football for 10 years. I played it. But you're not going to expect me to do great if you don't give me the opportunity during the game. You don't give me an opportunity. How you expect for me to help this team win if you don't put me in there on certain situations? And you put him in there in overtime in a crucial moment in the game. Willie Snead probably didn't know that ball was going to him. If I'm every receiver, or if I'm Zay Jones, if I am Henry Ruggs, if I am Brian Edwards, if I am not those 3, I'm not expecting the football. It's going to be Hunter Renfrow and Waller. That's the thing. You got. Listen. Y'all entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to argue on here. That's the one thing I won't do anymore. I'm gonna look at your comments, but some things I'll respond to, some things you don't. The best of the best receivers dropped them. Waller had an easy drop last night. Had a one-handed. He tried to do a one-handed catch, which he should have turned around and hit it with 2. He should have caught that. And then he had an easy drop when he was wide open. Gone. At the end of the day, if you're going to say it for Snead, you got to say it for all. You didn't say nothing when Henry Ruggs dropped the ball. Just can't understand it was in a crucial situation. I could completely understand that. But in my opinion, as a coach, I wouldn't put a guy out there in overtime if he didn't play all 4 quarters. That's just me. Keep playing the guy that you're playing, and he'll get his turn next week. That's just me. That's just my. It wasn't behind Waller. It was a fade. It was a fade 50-50. Matter of fact, it was a corner fade. It was a corner fade. It was a corner fade. That ball wasn't behind. As a big guy like Waller, you got to turn around and make that adjustment. Not try to get the one-handed catch. So shout out to Black Raider WP. Shout out to Black Raider. He says he's afraid that TJ Watt is going to crucify Leatherwood. He is. I have no faith in Leatherwood against TJ Watt. I just don't. I don't. Hopefully he gets better in practice. I hope that he gets better in practice. But against this pass rush, I don't see TJ Watt. I see TJ Watt dominating Leatherwood. I see it. So, a few things. Josh Jacobs, another one that I want to talk about. I don't have faith in Leatherwood. I don't have faith in Leatherwood against TJ Watt. I don't know. Listen, TJ Watt's going to have a field day. I just don't. He's going to need help. He's going to need help, but it's going to open up for other defensive players too if we double team TJ Watt. But we're going to talk about that later. But Josh Jacobs, I want to talk about. I questioned him last night. I did. I questioned him last night. I surely did. I thought the toe was fully healed. The illness, I thought the illness was gone. I thought he was feeling better. It's just injury after injury with Josh Jacobs. I think it's time to give Drake those reps over Jacobs. I love Jacobs to death. I love Jacobs to death. Jacobs is one of the top running backs in football. He's one of the top running backs in football. I agree with it, but he's just not 100% right now. He's just not. Yes, he had 2 rushing touchdowns on a bad leg. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. But how is he feeling today after those 2 rushing touchdowns? And that's my big concern going into this game against Pittsburgh. Will he be ready for that? I just don't. I'm just not a big fan of it. I think we should let Jacobs heal up a bit. My thing is this, though. In certain situations, we signed Peyton Barber, right? If Jacobs was not able to go in them short situations, just hypothetically, if he wasn't going in them situations, why we have not used Peyton Barber? He's on the 53-man roster. You move up Trey Regis into the 53-man roster. I think you should have used him at least once or twice in this game to get a feel of the game, of how fast the game is. Loyal to the soil, you can say whatever you want. John Gruden can be pounding it, but we got a whole bunch of running backs in that backfield that could pound the ball just as good as Jacobs. There's no excuse for that. Why did you sign Peyton Barber? You knew Peyton Barber averaged about 4 or 5 yards a carry in his career. Why not put him in the game? Let him get that pounding ground so Jacobs can heal. But the thing about it is, it goes to John Gruden. It goes back to John Gruden on that. You got Regis, you got Peyton Barber. You have four or five running backs on the 53-man roster in this game. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Even before the offensive line, until we was unexpected, Jacobs already was coming in the game hurt. He changed his shoes after the first play of the game, after the second play of the game. It's just basic football, bro. If Jacobs is one of our best players on this team, why keep running him? Even though he did get us a touchdown, he got us 2 touchdowns. And I'm happy for that. But longevity, I'm scared to have him. I'm scared to have him as a running back. Longevity, I am scared. The first 3 years of his career is completely it's completely tough to say. Shout out to Brian Rodriguez for the $1.99 super chat. He says, spotlight how Solomon Thomas is on this team. It's a lot of questions on how a lot of people is on this team. And we're going to get into that as well. We're gonna get to that as well. But shout out to for the 199 super chat. What's going on, Bobby? What's going on, Bobby? He said if Jacobs was hurt, what in the hell is Gruden doing beating him up on the ground in week 1? I don't know. Turf toe is very common, but it looked like he was more hurt. It looked like more than a turf toe last night. You couldn't see. It's not a lot of. I'm doing positive and negative stuff high there. We won the game last night, but it wasn't a perfect game. So you got to see it from both sides. We won the game. Yes, we did. But you got to see it from both sides. You got to see it from what we're going to look like next week and what we're going to look like going further into this season. We won the game. It's a lot of things that need to be fixed on this team going into week 2. It's a lot of things that need to be fixed. We want to know, and I appreciate that. But we're not going to steer away from what we saw last night that needs to be fixed. And there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. The offensive line. Jacobs getting healthy. John Gruden's play calling. You know what I'm saying? It's some things that need to be tweaked. It's some things that need to be tweaked. But in some instances, John Gruden did make some good play calls. We had a lot of injuries, too. Marcus Mariota restrained his quad after that run. That's why Marcus Mariota couldn't get back in the game. Gruden said it in his presser. He said that we had a plan for Marcus Mariota in this game. We had a plan. And look what happened. Mariota's down. Our backup quarterback. He restrained the quad. Now that brings the question. Do we go look for another backup? That strains the question. So that's another question that has to be answered going into this season. So I really wanted to see more of Mariota and the Mariota package. I think Gruden has something up his sleeve when it came to that. As far as other injuries go, Cleveland Farrell was not a healthy scratch, according to John Gruden. According to John Gruden, they said that he was not a healthy scratch. He still has some back issues that he re-aggravated in pregame. That's why he became inactive. So a lot of people can't question Cleveland Farrell because it wasn't a healthy scratch. And it looks like it has been confirmed that Denzel Good has torn his ACL and he is done for the year. It's not looking good for our offensive line, y'all. We have to go out and get some. Mitchell Schwartz, is you out there healthy, bro? Oh, man. Denzel Good has torn his ACL, ladies and gentlemen. Our offensive line is going to be, oh, my God. Now we got to wait on Gerald McCoy. Gerald McCoy news. We have some holes to fill in this offensive line. So why not list him as injured on the injury report, Cleveland Farrell? Because he was on the injury report all week. David DeCastro, that's another one. That's another one we need to probably go pick up. But is David DeCastro healthy? But Cleveland Farrell hurt. Only reason why he was on the injury report all week. If y'all go look at the injury reports, he was on the injury reports all week with his back. And then on Friday, they didn't have no game status for him because he worked out. I mean, he did in pregame warmups. He re-aggravated it. So I'm giving the pass to Cleveland Farrell because it wasn't a healthy scratch. He had a back problem. And they said that he'll be in the lineup possibly he'll be in the lineup next week if he could pass the medical part of it. So with that being said, we don't know no information on Yannick Ngakoue. as of right now. We don't have no information on Yannick Ngakoue's injury. We have no information on Gerald McCoy's injury. We already know what's looking like for Josh Jacobs. But some of these guys that got I hope it's not bad for, Yannick Ngakoue, and I hope it's not bad for Gerald McCoy. I just really hope it don't look that great. I mean, I hope it looks better for them, because Denzel Good is a tough loss. Denzel Good is a tough loss for this offensive line. I thought he was able to get up on his own and walk on his own, but suffering a torn ACL on Monday Night Football, that sucks, man. Good is only 29 years old. Yeah, Yannick got hurt. He had a hamstring injury. He was barely in that fourth quarter. I'm surprised you ain't peeped that, Anthony. That's why Carl Nassib and Max Crosby was in the game, because Yannick had a hamstring. Yeah, Yannick, yeah. Please, we need Cleveland Farrell. Yup. We do. I don't listen. He's 29, he's 30, he's one of those. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But we're gonna definitely get into it in less than 3 minutes. We are going to open up the lines. I do want to shout out to everybody that is watching this live stream. Really do appreciate y'all, man. Who is the strength, Coach? John Gruden's son. I know I missed a lot of y'all questions in the chat. If you want to put your comments in the chat, or you want to save them for the call-in show, please let me know. It's tough out here, man. Torn ACL. Yeah, I don't know about Denzel torn. All I can find, I can't find the news. It's on Twitter. It's on Twitter. It's on Twitter, Christian. Hopefully Ngakoue isn't bad facts. Hopefully he's not. Hopefully he's not at all. Wipe them feet. Let's go. Wipe them feet. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Spotlight, stay healthy. Let's go, Raider Nation. Facts. Facts. Let me stay healthy, man. Because last night was crazy. Last night was something, like, I was just so, I don't know, I was just in my bag. I was really in my bag last night. Really in my bag. And I appreciate everybody being in the chat. I do. I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate all y'all. We got 66 likes in the chat. We got 89 people in here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Nick Martin can play in good spot. Nick Martin played multiple spots at offensive line. But Greg, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. But Nick Martin has not played multiple spots on the offensive line since college. And Brian Rodriguez, I said that about DeCastro. I said that about Swartz. But is those two healthy? Is those two healthy? They both coming off surgeries. So that's the big question there. That is the big question. Is Swartz and DeCastro healthy right now? I think Swartz is coming off back surgery, and DeCastro's coming off a torn ACL surgery. So I don't know. Great win. We needed to set the tone for this offseason. Yes, it was a great win. And that's where we're about to get into right now. Is the box score of this game. But what's up, everybody? Make sure y'all come on in and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 6K. That is the goal, is to get to 6K. So let's go to the box score, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the box score of this game. And we're going to pull it up as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to pull it up. And y'all see the score here. And the Baltimore Ravens go down against our Las Vegas Raiders in overtime, 33-27. Now here go the team stats when it comes to this game. It comes to the team stats that the total yards, the total net yards, the Raiders have 491 total yards for the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Ravens had 406. The Ravens only have 5 total penalties in this game. 2 are 10. We have to clean that up. We got to have less than double-digit penalties, in my opinion. We got to have less double-digit penalties. Penalty yards. They have 5 penalties, but they have more yards for us. 5 penalties for 71. We have 10 for 62. Almost about the same when it comes to yards-wise. Time of possession. 32 minutes and 14 seconds for the Baltimore Ravens. 34.8. 34 minutes and 8 seconds for the Las Vegas Raiders. So both of the teams was on the field a lot. And let's go to the box scores, ladies and gentlemen. In the individual box scores, we definitely going to go with the Baltimore Ravens first. Lamar Jackson was 19 of 30, 235 yards and a touchdown. Even with Lamar Jackson leading his team in rushing with 12 attempts, 86 yards, and his longest was 28. With Williams, nine attempts, 65 yards, 35 was his longest and a touchdown. Latavius Murray, the new acquisition to the Baltimore Ravens, 10 carries, 28 yards, longest was his 8th and a touchdown. Sammy Watkins, this is where Baltimore Ravens really hurt at, is the wide receiver core. Sammy Watkins, 4 receptions, 96 yards, no touchdowns. Marquise Brown, 6 receptions for 69 yards and a touchdown. Everybody else looked nonchalant on the Baltimore Ravens side. Everybody looked nonchalant. Yeah, Trent Brown got injured in the Patriots game on Sunday. He didn't even come back in that game. But let's go to the Las Vegas Raiders side of this game, and let's go with this soundboard here.
Touchdown, Raiders!
And then we go with our quarterback, Derek Carr. Phenomenal game last night, 34-56, 435 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Not bad stats. And just to let y'all know that Derek Carr, after week 1, is leading the league in passing right now after week 1. Then you have Josh Jacobs with 10 attempts, 34 yards, 15 with his longest with 2 touchdowns. Marcus Mariota only had 1 play, but it was for 31 yards. Keon Drake with 6 attempts, 11 yards. His longest was 6. And Derek Carr, 4 attempts for 6 yards. Now let's go to the wide receiver position. It doesn't show the targets, but it does say that Waller did have 10 receptions for 105 yards and a touchdown. Brian Edwards came on in the second half, ladies and gentlemen. He came on in the second half with 4 receptions, 81 yards. And he could have had a game-winning touchdown. Could have had it. Hunter Renfrow, 6 receptions for 70 yards. Not bad. Zay Jones only had 2 receptions, 46 yards, in the game-winning touchdown in overtime. Henry Ruggs, 2 receptions, 46 yards. Got to get Ruggs a little bit more involved in his offense. Got to get him a little bit more involved. Alec Ingold, 4 receptions, 22 yards. Jacobs, 1 catch for 6 yards. They don't have the defensive statistics here, but as far as the Las Vegas Raiders go, it's pretty good stats. It's damn good, pretty good stats. And we just gotta clean up a lot of things going into this game, man. We gotta clean up a lot. And I think John Gruden said he gotta get his wide receivers involved. The defense, that I really don't have to say nothing about the defense, even though 27 points was put up on the board. But you've seen a totally different defense. You've seen a totally different style of defense. You've seen hard hitting. You've seen passion. You see that they played to care for each other. And that's what defenses are. Defenses is a unity. It's a unity. Shout out to my boy Engraving Vids. Make sure y'all subscribe to him. He does all NFL sports. He does all NFL news. And, congratulations on my win, my guy. Crazy game. Y'all earned it. It was a hell of a game, bro. It was a hell of a game. Jonathan Abram is legit coming forward. He is. He is. This defense looked totally different. They looked like they was engaged. They looked like they wanted to play, and they wanted to play for a coach that give them that Raider demeanor. I don't think our offense took a bet, Greg. I don't think our offense took a bit. I don't think our offense took a step back. I think it took a like not having preseason really hurt our offense, and it showed. If you notice, a lot of our defensive starters played in the first preseason game. Not all, but some did. And I don't think any of our offensive players played in the preseason, from the offensive line and all. I don't know. But the Raiders had more sacks. They had turnovers, which we don't get on this defensive front. Denzel Perryman, we made Lamar Jackson fumble twice. When do you ever see the Raiders defense get turnovers? Now, we could have had a pick. It didn't happen, but we could have had a pick. But I love everything that, even though that we gave up a few plays, which is cool. I'm not mad at that. It's still only week 1. It's still only week 1. So some things is going to have to be cleaned up. Nate Hobbs looked good. We didn't see much of Damon Arnett, but you understand why. Look at this defense without Damon Arnett being on the field as a starter. People thought that Damon Arnett was going to beat out Casey Hayward, and Casey Hayward was a shutdown corner last night. He was a shutdown corner last night. Trayvon Mullen was good. He got beat a few times, but we definitely look better than last year. That's one thing I can say. We definitely look better than last year, and that is a fact, bro. Quentin Jefferson needs more playing time. I think the rotation of that defensive line has to be better. But Darius Fallon was phenomenal. Denzel Perryman was phenomenal. We got KJ Wright looked good since he only been with the Raiders for not that long. But KJ Wright looked good too. But the two people that stood out to me last night on that defense was Darius Fallon, Carl Nassib, and Denzel Perryman, and Casey Hayward. Even though Jonathan Abram, we all know what Jonathan Abram can do. We all know that. But Denzel Perryman, this is why we got him. We look at him when he's healthy. Bro, talk about our kicker, Carson. I mean, he made every field goal. He made every extra point. Listen, I'll take it. I'll take the win. But, of course, adjustments going to have to be made. And it just sucks that, that we lost Denzel Good for the year. Yeah, the 55-yard field goal was clutch. It was definitely clutch. I can't be mad at that. It definitely was clutch. It was. So make sure y'all hit that like button. Listen, I could talk about so many people on this defensive line. And the number one person on the defensive line is Max Crosby. You could talk about Max Crosby. He was the leader of that damn defense. Him and Yannick Ngakoue. I'm not going to leave them two out. I already know what Max Crosby can do. I already know what Yannick Ngakoue can do. But the proven guys is what makes me stand out. Like a Darius Fallon. A lot of people didn't say nothing about him coming into this offseason. I mean, even though that Darius Fallon was going to make the team because he's a Gus Bradley guy, but Darius Fallon really showed out last night. Denzel Perryman really showed out last night. Guys that already was here, I already know what Max Crosby is able to do when he has an opposite person like Yannick Ngakoue. You know what I'm saying? We need to extend Max. Hopefully we could. What happened to McCoy? I really don't know. All I know that he was down, and when we came back to commercial, he was getting carted off. It doesn't look good for McCoy, but praying that he be fine. I am praying that the results, whatever he has, is negative. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to open up the phone lines for the Raider Nation to call up. And we really do appreciate all the love and all the support when it comes to y'all. Because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here at all. So let me just fix this up right here. Just give me 1 second while I try to open up these phone lines. All right, so hold up. Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to get it right now. And here we go. If you do want to call up to the show, 267-957-1431. If you want to call up and talk about the game, call up. Come and talk to your boy. I'm going to let you speak. I'm not going to argue because there's nothing to argue about. Carr is my quarterback, and that's what it is.
Bakersfield, CA.
And thank you for calling the Spotlight Raiders up with Spotlight. Who is this and where you calling from? Hello? Where you calling from? Hello?
Yeah, this is Sergio from Bakersfield.
Hey, Sergio, what's going on, brother? How are you today?
Hey, I'm over here celebrating, and I'm very proud of the fact the team did yesterday. And is it just me, or am I the only one that almost had like 3 heart attacks at the end of the game yesterday? It was like up and down, it was crazy. But I just wanted to say that, get your opinions about the end of that game.
Was you in my live stream last night?
I think so. Yes.
You see how I reacted? I see. I know how it is, man. I know how it is. It was. I almost had a heart attack, man. Mind you, I think all of us almost had a heart attack. You know, so yeah, man. I think everybody was like pulling hair in that game. They was pulling hair.
Hey, but you know what? I really like I was so proud of the fact that, you know, it just felt different. It looked like they were not giving up, and that defense, man, you know, massive and Mad Max just, it looked like it was a coming out party or something yesterday. I don't know if it's just me, but it was like the whole nation knows who Mad Max is now.
I think everybody already knew who Max Crosby was because of his first season that he had 10 sacks. He had 10 sacks, 10 total sacks in his first year as a defensive rookie. I know everybody usually had that second year slump when it comes to defensively on the offensive side. But Max Crosby looked good last night. He looks thinner, he looks stronger, he looks meaner. And I think when you bring in a coach that hold players accountable for their actions, like a Gus Bradley, you know, that demeanor change. And I'm kind of, and I'm happy. I'm happy that he had a tremendous game. He just got to keep it up, you know, and be consistent with it.
Yeah, and I like the fact also that they kept on talking about him and his story, and also the story of you know, of Waller, how he, you know, they battled personal issues, and they just keep pushing. You know, that I loved how they talked about that. I don't know if you guys caught that on the national cast, but that was great to hear about that.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, true. So, okay, I'm just looking at this right now because I'm looking at profootballtalk.nbcsportstalk.com. They just show us some other news about the injuries. I think that some of the injury stuff is coming out as we speak. Just give me 1 second here. One game in injuries that already piling up in the NFL, and the Raiders included. Depth is getting tested on the offensive line and the defensive lines. And this is according to Vinny B on Twitter. That's what he said. He said that one game in, injuries are already piling up for the NFL and the Las Vegas Raiders included. Depth is getting tested on the offensive line and the defensive lines. That is according to Vinny B on Twitter of the Las Vegas Review Journal. So basically, it was a good game, but injuries is definitely going to, injuries is definitely going to be a bad thing for us. But injuries happen, and it's a part of the NFL. Anthony said it was nice getting pressure in front of with a front four without blitzing. I think that was the big thing for me too. What you think about that, man?
Yeah, and I even noticed that, like, it's like watching the Legion of Boom, the early beginnings of the Legion of Boom back in the day. I remember this is what they were doing, where it was just four guys and no real blitzing, just have them go out there and just rush, but not really stunts or blitzes or anything like that. So I really like the fact that they did that, and I think that's why at the end of the game, if you notice, they look more fresh than the front four of Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
They just look more fresh parts to that, and maybe it had to do with some of the injuries, and they had to change a couple of guys. But they still look much more fresh than the Baltimore side.
Oh, facts. But I know the lines are blowing up right now. People are trying to call in. I do appreciate you calling up and having your take on the game tonight. Make sure. Was you the first time in our in my YouTube channel? Was that the first time you was in there?
No, I've been here before. I just haven't been able to get through. But yeah, representing Bakersfield.
Okay. So Chevy Silver Raider says good Nagawe Mariota McCoy might have season-ending injuries. I hope not. So thank you for calling up, brother. We really do appreciate it, man. Finish watching the show, and we'll be live again. We'll be live again tomorrow, and we'll be live again Sunday for the game. So just make sure you have to turn all the notifications on. So just subscribe to our channel. Well, I mean, you already subscribed, but tell a friend.
All right. You have a good one.
All right. You too.
You too.
All right. So here we go. We have a couple more calls missed. If you want to call up to the show, here we go.
Cincinnati.
And thank you for calling up to the Spotlight Raiders Talk with Spotlight. Who is this and where you calling from?
What up, boy? It's your boy Chance Worthy calling in. It's been a little minute. How you been, brother?
I've been really good, man. I've been really good. How are you, my brother?
Doing well, man. I was staying up for that game last night. Shit was epic. It was epic.
Yeah, it was. It was one hell of a game last night.
I'm trying to figure out what are the Raiders prepared to do with our depth issues, because look, I had a couple of buddies trying to really think who's really out there. If anybody's going to IR, who's still out there, and can they afford to bring them in like on a vet minimum deal or maybe a little bit more than that to make sure they got some depth at some of these positions, because we lost some key contributors last night, it looked like. With McCoy and well, I think Yannick is probably like temporary, but McCoy, I heard about Good because you was giving us a spill on that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Good is out for the season.
Where we gonna end up. Hey.
So my take is this: and when it comes to the offensive line, the only two names I could really put out there to go out and get is Mitchell Schwartz or DeCastro. But my only two issues with those two, they're coming off injuries from last year. We don't know if they're healthy enough. That's why they're still out there on the market. I don't know if we're going to I don't know if they're going to be ready, to play if we sign those two. That's my only big thing. Now, defensively, I haven't seen Bernard McKinley as far as a linebacker goes. I don't know if he could play defensive end. I don't know if there's any good defensive ends that's going to probably live, with the depth of possibility. God forbid, nothing bad with Nagawe. Now, when it comes to the defensive tackle situation, I think we could bring, Kendall Vickers up from the practice squad, in my opinion. Instead of going out and get another defensive tackle, that guy McCoy, which he might be gone for the year, God forbid. But if McCoy's gone for the year, bring up Victor's. So you really don't have to go out and there and get, a defensive tackle where you have Kendall Victor's that played pretty well in the second half of last year. You know? So
he did play all right. He did play all right last year. He did. I just hope.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, okay. So people are saying. Oh, damn. My bad, brother. Go ahead.
I was just going. Nah, you good. I was just gonna say, like, you would just wish some of these young guys really step up, man. I know we all watched the game last night, start to finish, and it's not so much how you start, but how, you know what I'm saying, you go through the adversity and finishing strong. And I felt like we did finish strong. We got to keep carrying this momentum into the next match, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And the young guys gonna have to step up. You're gonna have to do certain things to help Leatherwood. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I honestly feel, I'm not sure, like John Simpson didn't play too bad last night. He really didn't.
Right. Okay.
And the other guy who came in for good, he didn't play that bad. They gave up some pressure, but man, look, nobody is saying this. I've talked about it with some of my other partners in Raider Nation, but nobody is talking about the job that Tom Cable does. Get him a competent offensive lineman, young or old, and he can make magic happen. Like, do you realize we didn't have Rodney Hudson? We didn't have Dave Jackson, and we didn't have Trent fucking Brown on the O-line last night. And they still had shit popping and making shit shake. So, next man up. Get what we can get in here, get some able bodies, some healthy bodies, and I think we'll be fine.
Hey. I feel as though, when it comes to the offensive line, don't get me wrong, they had some good times on that offensive line. It was sometimes they got blown up. It was on both ways, so
yeah. But you gotta admit, for us playing, I'm not saying that you gotta admit, like, you have to agree with me, because that's the great thing about, you being a contributor and me being a fan. You know what I'm saying? We can agree to disagree. We don't always have to see eye to eye, but as far as going up against Baltimore, even with some of the depth issues that we had, bro, Baltimore that's a playoff team year in and year out, period.
Right.
They give you their hardest punches every single time. Shit, look, I'm from Cincinnati. Even though I'm a Raiders fan, I'm from Cincinnati, so I done seen a game or two. You know what I'm saying? They done put motherfuckers out of their misery. You know what I'm saying? Against the Bengals, even though it's the Bengals we talking about, or even the Steelers. I watch them games all the time. But, it's Baltimore. They playoff team year in and year out. Like, so, you got to get them guys a little bit of credit for being able, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
do what they did last night. Even with Carr and them recognizing the blitz, every time a motherfucker zero blitz them, bro, they make people pay. You seen it last year with Ruggs. Like, even though that the Ruggs catch was kind of lucky last year, but that shit, it was wide open. Like, you seen how Marlon Humphrey let up, like, bro, I'm beat. It's over with. It's game. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, we can agree to disagree. We see some good things out of the offensive line. We see some bad things out of the offensive line. At the end of the day, it's still week one, and things still have to be cleaned up. But that's for just all aspects of the team, not just the offensive line. Andre James got to get better. Alex Leatherwood definitely got to get better, especially going up against a TJ Watt this week. Is going to be this Steelers defense is tough. They're tough defense.
Man,
we're not going to, we're
way tougher than what the fuck we just, way tougher than what we just went against. Look how they manhandled Buffalo. They manhandled Buffalo on Sunday. It was a tight game, pretty nip and tuck for the most part. It took Buffalo, got a little sloppy at the end, because really they should have won that game, but they wasn't doing enough on offense And what I mean by that was they were kind of they were out of sync a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But they offensive line is maybe a little bit more healthy than ours. And hell, Pittsburgh gave them a run for their money. Offensively, I'm not worried about Pittsburgh. Defensively is why I'm worried about Pittsburgh. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like if we get all our best guys lined up and Gus does what he does, we'll be fine. I mean, last night really got me looking even more optimistic. I just need to get them first game jitters out the way.
Yeah, and that's what I think it was. And that's what I think it was, because in that first quarter, I wasn't as hyped as I was when the game ended. But I was telling people to relax. Y'all, they was ready to get rid of Carr after the first quarter. People was like, oh, bring in Aaron Rodgers, bring in this, bring in that, get rid of Carr now. Carr is trash. Da 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 da. I'm like, relax.
I was one of them fans that I didn't say he was trash. I said, I don't know what he's doing right now, but he tripping. He tripping big time. I don't know if he got high at halftime or what. But my thing is this. The game, like I said, the game started off slow last night, and you know how we as fans, we ready to hit the damn reset button because we so used to being let down.
Facts.
But at the same time, if you get that man, they gave him 37 seconds after he just marched down the field and had tied the game up.
No, we was down 4. We went in the halftime down 4 because that's when Carlson kicked that field goal.
Which one? You talking about the 3 points to make it 10-14?
Yeah, it was 37. Even with the halftime as well, it was under a minute. It was like almost 30-something seconds or 40-something seconds.
That's right, because they couldn't score.
They couldn't score. So Carr went down the field and got him a field goal, and we ended up being down by 4.
Oh, okay.
But I know what you talk about with 37 seconds in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I know what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it was just first game jitters. Most of the players did not play. Most of the offensive players, like a Waller, Ruggs, Edwards, they didn't play preseason. Most of our offensive line didn't, like Denzel Good, offensive season, but he didn't play. Andre James played in the preseason, but he still looked like crap a little bit last night. He got blown up a few times. Not every time, but he did get blown up a few times.
He got to get stronger, bro, especially at the point of attack. Well, he made a real good block last night and I love how he like he got a hand on somebody and went to the next level and was able to get a hand on a linebacker on that Jacobs touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing of beauty last night, bro. I like to see that in him. I see the athleticism, but he definitely needs to get firmer at his base, wider with his stance, and he gonna definitely have to get a little bit stronger at the point of attack. Them are some of the weaknesses I've seen.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of weaknesses. There's a lot of weaknesses that we saw in this football team, and I just feel like it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting year. We got another test to go harder over, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we got Miami in week 3. And those two defenses are great defense. I'm not going to say, oh, we're going to blow them out the park or nothing of that nature, because it's still early in the season. A lot of the NFL players, not just the Raiders, but a lot of the NFL players in this league is losing players to injury. They're losing like torn ACLs and Achilles. It's so many injuries right now, and we're not even in week 5 yet. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. Right. So it's going to be a very decent, very important year for us. And I want to thank you for calling up to the show. It was good talking to you.
Thank you so much, bro. Didn't mean to take so much of your time, bro. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good. I'm just letting you know that the lines are blowing up. Everybody else want to call in and give their opinion. That's why I make sure I try to answer every call to let people's voice be heard on here to talk about the game. And that's what I'm going to be doing every single time we play. Even if we play Monday night, it'll be the next day. We play Sunday, it will be that Monday that we'll have a call-in show and talk about it. So definitely do appreciate the call, brother. Call up anytime that we have these shows.
Man, you know it, man. I love this channel. I seen Docs was at the game Liddy last night. Hell, I ain't seen his ass since he done went to the game and then got all gussied up with the drink he drank. So I ain't even seen his ass. I don't know where he at. I've been looking around for everybody. But yeah, man, go ahead, man. Take the next one, man. Appreciate you, brother. It's all love. Just win, baby, always, man. I catch you on the rebound.
All right, no problem. Much love to you, man.
Yep. You know it.
All right, so we got some more calls trying to come in. So every time that call comes around, it's going to be
Touchdown, Raiders!
every single time, man. Every single time. So make sure y'all come on in and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channels to Spotlight Raiders Talk. Thanks for everybody for being in here. If you want to call up and let your voice be heard, make sure you call down there, 267-957-1431. We're going to keep talking about this game and everything of that nature. So I want to hear everybody's opinion. So make sure y'all call up, man. Thank you, Chaz Worthy Evans. I see you, brother. I see you, my guy. You just got off the phone and get back in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We just waiting for some more. We did have why Chance Worthy was ill. There we go. And thank you for calling the Spotlight Radio. Start with Spotlight. Who is this? Where you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? I'm calling from Riverside, California.
Hey, what's going on, man? How are you today?
Good. I talked to you before. I don't know if you remember.
It's all good. It's all good. Listen, you could call up anytime you want, man. Every time you had these shows, you could call up anytime. How you feel about the game last night?
But couple things. Man, that game gave me a heart attack. But you know what I saw? Our defense is amazing. I mean, last year with 3rd and 19, we're giving up 3rd and 19s and all this. I had no worries. The defense went in there. No matter if 3rd and 10, 3rd and 5, they played awesome. Everybody. They played with passion. They played with heart. And that's the Raider way, man. We look good. The defense look good. You know, and you're talking about the offensive line. You're a coach. Everybody's going to get beat. You can't win every freaking down.
Right.
It's coaching. Wink Martindale, that defensive coordinator, he's great. Okay, so just the strategy of the coaching. You're a coach. I'm a coach. I've been coaching for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was all strategy. That was. They were going at it. You know, him, Gruden, and the defensive coordinator, they went to halftime and they made adjustments. And that's what I liked about it. They knew they were struggling. They got within 4 points. They went and they made adjustments. And we didn't do that last year. You know what I'm saying? They played with heart. I seen a lot. And Carr showed me a lot. Because that's what champions are made of. When 37 seconds left, he looked at me and said, give me the ball. I'm taking them down. And that's what champions, that's what all those Brady and all them guys are made of. And he showed it. I don't care what anybody says, that guy showed it. And it was awesome. It was a great game. And, hey, Waller's the man. Go to him. I don't care if you go to him 100 times. If I'm coaching my football game and things are working and I got my star player, I'm going to run the wheels fall off. Stop me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what we do. That's what coaches do.
Right. Then at
the end, they started doubling Waller, and then we started going. And Winfro does what Winfro does. You know what I'm saying? Which was awesome. I mean, so you need to lighten up on Leatherwood. I know when I called you last time after the draft, you're like, it's a reach. I remember that. You went crazy. that was hilarious. But, you know, hey, man, he's a rookie. Everybody gets beat, man. I bet you when you went out there, you got, you know, when I went out and when I played, I got beat a few times. It's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You got to take the good with the bad.
Right,
you know?
absolutely.
And as far as Snead, I don't care if you're waiting the whole fourth quarter. You get their opportunity to play and make a play. If he wanted to play more, he should have caught that ball. That's it. Period. I don't care if you sit the game.
I agree. I agree with you.
You make it happen.
I agree. I agree with you with a lot of this stuff, but I just feel like if Snead is a veteran for these wide receivers, right? And he doesn't play all 4 quarters. Why put him in that situation? For me personally, if you got a guy in Brian Edwards, give it to him in that situation. He's been out there. I just feel like it was. I just feel like it was the wrong play at the wrong time for Snead. And I feel like we should not give up on Snead because of that one play, because just imagine if Leatherwood would never have had the false start. Will we have seen Snead at all?
No, that's true. But Leatherwood, you got to give the rookie a break, man. He's a rookie. I know what you said about Slater.
I
was
agree.
watching the whole thing. I understand.
I agree.
There's a few others,
but
the other guy you're talking about, Darisaw,
but this is where
got hurt, and you wanted Darisaw, and he got hurt. So we would have took Darisaw, we wouldn't be having him. So
I like
Leatherwood's good.
The thing about it, I had a problem with Leatherwood. I understand that he's a rookie, but he knows this as a run, his running. How can I put it? When it comes to Leatherwood, he's not great against the pass, but he's great against the run. That's one. Number two, you're at the goal line. All you got to do is have push Derek Carr in. The team wasn't even set on the line and he flinched. All you got to do is stay still. You learned that in Pee Wee. You learned that in junior high. You learned that in high school. You learned that in college. Just stay still. What are you flinching for? Derek Carr never even called hike yet. What are you flinching for?
Well, if you watch it, Derek Carr went with a faster count. If you noticed it, he did like a hut. He did something different. I'm not taking Leatherwood's side. I'm just saying it was still adjustments. You know what I mean? It kind of threw him off, and the defense actually kind of flinched, and it caught him off guard. But it happened. I was just proud of the team in general. It was a whole different team than last year. That their demeanor, the way they played, their attitude, it was a whole different team from the bottom up, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, and just to let y'all know that I have NFL Game Pass, so I look at the coach's film instead of watching the highlights. So I see it from a different angle. I'm not like Sanjit T, or Las Vegas Network. Shout out to Sanjit T. That's my guy. He does the breakdowns of the games, and he posts them on his YouTube. I don't, but I do watch the coach's film on NFL Game Pass. That's $100 a year. And what I saw from Leatherwood, he was so great against the run if you ran to his side, but pass blocking, he was patty caking a little bit. And I wasn't looking at him from a strength type of, I was looking at technique. I was looking at how quick he could get that kickback against defensive ends. I was looking at how he could flip his hips, how he can, get under the pads of a defensive lineman. I was looking at it from a technique standpoint. I wasn't looking for how he was doing in the run, because in the run he's at a point of attack when it comes to running.
Come in time. You got Tom Cable, man.
Right.
Tom Cable's the best offensive line coach of the game, I think, and that's going to come in time.
Right, it's going to come in time. But when it comes to simple things, like goal line offense, you should know. Until that ball is snapped, you don't move. That's just simple football. It's just simple. Well, I don't have nothing against Alex Leatherwood.
Coaching high school,
right?
When you're running sprints and you get that football out there and you're going hut hut hut, everybody jumps. I don't know what it is, but it just happened.
I don't think it was for me. It wasn't a fast count. From the film that I looked at, from the coach's film on NFL Game Pass, it wasn't a fast count. I just feel like with Leatherwood, he just got to get better on pass blocking. If you get better on pass blocking, he'll be a complete offensive lineman.
How many times did Carr get sacked? How many times did we throw the ball? How many times did he get sacked?
I don't know. But that's just
he got sacked twice.
Yeah, understanding. But that's
sacked.
Yeah, but that was one was on Leatherwood's side and one came up the middle. So for Carr to be sacked only twice, that's a goal in the unit. That's a unit goal. But I just feel like people feel like I'm so bashing on Leatherwood. I'm not bashing on Leatherwood. I just feel like he wasn't a first round talent. He's a talent. Yeah, but was he a first round talent? And the only reason why I say that,
gone in the second round,
and the only reason why I said that, because the guy came into the league when it comes to pass blocking, he led the league in college football in penalties. That's it.
Yeah,
the numbers don't lie when it comes to players. It don't lie.
But you wanted Christian Darrisaw. You wanted, and he's out.
I wanted Christian Darrisaw and Slater. And Slater outplayed Leatherwood against the best defensive lineman in football, and that's Chase Young. He didn't give up a sack on Chase Young.
Darrisaw's out. Darrisaw's hurt.
Yeah, but that's part of the game, though. Darrisaw's hurt, but Rashawn Slater. But I bet you when it comes to the Raiders, if Rashawn Slater was there, we still would have took Alex Leatherwood.
Probably.
But Rashawn Slater is the better offensive lineman.
All I know is from when I coach in high school and I'm drafting kids and I'm looking at stuff, I ask my offensive line coach. Tom Cable is great. He probably said, "Can you do something with this kid?" Yeah, we might not be able to get this guy. This guy might have time, but if he sees something in him, then you know what I mean. I can't fault it. It's just one game. I'll give Leatherwood a little break. Now, if this keeps happening, then I'll be with you. But right now, hey, 2 sacks, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
That's as an offensive unit. That's as an offensive unit. You just can't say that about Leatherwood. Leatherwood was one of those guys that gave up a sack.
Yeah, I know, but 1 sack. He's a rookie. I mean, it's going to get beat. Those defensive linemen, those defensive ends he's going against ain't no joke. And I know J.J. Watt's little brother is going to, T.J. Watt's going to give. We'll see how he does.
That's another challenge for him. That's another challenge. Y'all can say what y'all want that I can't stop crying over spoiled milk, as Wesley Williams just say. You can say what you want, but I felt like he stunk it up when it came to the pass game. The run game, and I said that, and he stunk it up against the pass game, but I said it. I gave him his roses when it came to the run game.
Okay, let's give me this.
So how am I complaining? How am I complaining if I gave the man his roses against the run game? Come on, y'all.
If we do good against Pittsburgh and he doesn't give up a sack and he does good against T.J. Watt and T.J. Watt gets no sack on his side or wherever they line him up, would you give him credit?
Okay. And actually, Derek Carr got sacked 3 times, not 2.
Okay, well then.
Still not bad.
I'll still take it.
It's still not bad.
And I'll still, defensively,
I'm just not a fan of him.
Defensive lineman, we're going against Lamar Jackson, bro. That dude, he's hard to tackle. I mean, he's elusive as hell. And guys understand their lanes. Our defensive ends are crashing. I'm proud of the defense. I really am.
I am too. I am too.
I didn't have to have a heart attack like last year, 30-19.
Oh my God.
I didn't have a heart attack. I was like, okay, we got this. Because I saw it in their eyes. I could tell the way they were playing. They played with passion. They didn't get down when they were down. They came back up and we got this. Even Carr was leading them. You hear him? Did you see him when they were going in the huddle? He was yelling at fools. He was getting in their face and he was telling them, some of the mistakes were his, some of the throws, but he still was on them. Hey, you should have went this way. He was leading these guys. And that's a leader. That's what makes Vanny and all those quarterbacks great, because he was doing that. He was getting in these guys' faces, and I was proud of Carr. I was so proud of him, because I think we got something, man. I really do. We're gonna see how we do against Pittsburgh and Miami. 2 great hard games, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see. It's another test this week for us as a football team. There's another test for us.
Yeah.
He gave up 1 sack, and theoretically, as a QB, you don't hard count on the goal line. You don't hear Russell Wilson and Manning doing that all day. It's the same thing. Listen, you don't hard count on the off. That's absolutely. You're absolutely right. You do not hard count.
That's what he did, and that's why Leatherwood jumped offside.
I don't think so. I disagree. I don't. From what I watched last night, he didn't hard count. Because, and then at the same time, you gotta let the fans in the sometimes I understand the fans was like really happy about being in Allegiant Stadium, but when our offense got a ball, they gotta be quiet. They gotta be quiet when our offense got the ball. When our defense got the ball, I don't mind. Yell, scream, run on the field. I don't care. But when it comes to this offense, the fans gotta be quiet. Oh, they
they're
gotta
in
be
Vegas,
quiet.
Man. They're running amok. They're in Vegas. They've been there 3 days. You know what I'm saying? They got the buzz. They probably haven't slept in like 3 days. They've been running hard. They got it. Because I was in Vegas. I left Sunday. So I saw all those Raider fans coming in. You know what I'm saying? I was at the Viva Las Vegas for the car show, and I left. I didn't stay for the game.
Right. Right. And just to let y'all know, and just to let the people know in the chat, and let the people know in the chat, if you don't have NFL Game Pass and you don't have the coach's film, you can't say nothing to me about a hard count or not a hard count. Because what I saw on the coach's film was not a hard count. So the coach's the coach's film angle and what you watch on TV is totally different. It's going to be some things that you see on the coach's film that you did not see in the game. I watched that film. I was up to 5 o'clock in the morning breaking down that film.
The announcer even said it. He goes, "Why is Carr changing? Why is he going with the hard?" He said it on TV. The announcer even said it. Carr's doing his hard count. He even said it on TV. So that's from an announcer's angle.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Like I pay $100 a year on NFL Game Pass to watch coaches film. Maybe I need to go watch it again. But just from what I saw after breaking down the films to 5 o'clock this morning, and I'm back here doing a live stream, I just know what I saw was I didn't really see a hard count. I didn't see it. Agreed to disagree.
Hard work. Thank you for doing all the hard work and you coming back, and I'm glad you're feeling better, man. You were in my prayers there, but I'm glad you're back, man. You do a good job for us.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
But I want you to give Leatherwood his props if he does good against Pittsburgh. All right?
Yeah, I give roses when it's given. And if he doesn't care about me giving his roses, then I don't give a fuck either. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
You know?
If he does good against Pittsburgh, I go, okay, maybe it wasn't a read. It's a read. Just give me credit. If he does good. If he gets bad, I'll be with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen.
We'll see where it's at.
I'll be the first one to do it. If he doesn't care about what I have to say, I don't give a fuck how he plays on the field. That's just me. Right. I'm just nonchalant with it. If he don't give 2 fucks about what his fans care about, then I don't give 2 fucks about that player.
I think he does. He's an athlete. You know, they're professionals. You gotta care. That's what drives you.
Yeah, but I don't know if y'all saw on his Instagram last night. He said he don't give a fuck what the fans got to say about him. Oh well. Oh well. Then I don't give a fuck about what you do. Just protect Carr. Just do what you do. You get paid to protect Carr. That's it.
Right. So, you know, he may have did that to respond, but being an athlete, and me and you both are athletes, that hurts you. And it's going to drive you. If it don't, then you don't need to be an athlete. You know what I'm saying? You may say something and respond because you're mad, you know, out of a spontaneousm, but it does bother you and it does drive you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree.
If you don't, then you have no business being an athlete, be a professional athlete.
And that's what you have to learn as a professional. That's what you have to learn as a professional athlete. You can't feed into what the fans are saying. Just play ball.
Right.
Just play ball.
Exactly. When that comes, he's new, man. He's from Alabama. They win all the time. You know, Chris, you know, he probably was jocks. I've been with guys that had all the talent in the world. They've been jocked their whole lives, and they go somewhere else that's new, and they're not used to all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to adapt to that.
Right. Absolutely.
You got. I've seen it from high school level, from Pee Wee kids who been Pee Wee. Oh, he's touchdown machine. Goes to high school and he struggles. You know, because he was jocked all the whole time. The coaches never got on him. Never told him to go to practice. You know what I mean? When you come from Alabama, he's probably the man. They're winning all the time. You know, it's different, man. The work ethic, you just got to put it in. And he's going to learn that in the professionals. If not, he's going to be in the unemployment line. It's that simple.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Spotlight, man. Keep up the good work, man. I love your show.
All right, Rob. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
And before I take another call, I'm going to address the chat real quick, y'all. Because I'm not going to get hype about that because I'm more than just a fan. I'm more than just a fan. I am a professional podcaster, number one. Number two, I am a former professional player, not in the NFL, but I play professional football. That's number two. Number three, I've coached on a professional. I coach on a professional level. So you're not going to sit here and question my integrity of the game where I played that position. I played the right tackle position. So I look at it from a technique standpoint. I look at it how he played at Alabama. I don't hate the guy. I just think his technique needs work. So with that being said, what did Carr say about his fans? Give me 1 second before I take this call. But we're not going to sit here and do the integrity. And I played offensive right tackle before. I played fullback before. So I'm going to critique a position that I played. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to critique a position that I played. I don't think he's a bad player, but his technique needs work as a pass blocking offensive lineman. His technique. Learn how to flip his hips. Get quicker off after the snap. Get under the pads of the defensive lineman. Stop patty caking. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. I'm not talking bad about the man. If he just got to get better at his technique. He has a real bad technique when it comes to pass blocking. And it was a problem in Alabama. His run blocking, phenomenal. He played a run blocking night against the Baltimore Ravens. Because I knew he was a great run blocker. At the point of attack, when he runs, you cannot get around Alex Leatherwood when it comes to running. That's it. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody's here to agree to disagree. But I'm just telling you from my point of view as a former player and a former coach, not just a fan. My bad. I belched. My bad. He gave up 1 second, one pressure, but it was a lot of other things you saw. I can say the same thing for Andre James. I can say the same thing for a few other offensive linemen that did not look good last night. But people want to talk about Leatherwood. Everybody wants to say, I'm talking about Leatherwood. Oh, Andre James got blown the fuck up last night at the center position. All I'm saying is his technique has to be better. His technique. And I've been saying that all offseason that he needs a better technique. He needs to learn how to flip his hips, get under the pads, and drive. That's it. What is wrong with me critiquing a technique? What is wrong with that? That's why y'all fans, the Raiders fans are weird. We are the weirdest fans in the world. Y'all want to look at it from, how he did in the game. Yeah, he did good in the game against the run. You couldn't shed a block off of Leatherwood against the run. But it's been times you got to critique him. You can't say he was good the whole time. Thank you, Danny. He was super jumpy last night. You got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the good with the bad. And listen, y'all can say what y'all want and how y'all feel about me in this chat because I really don't care. My opinion is my opinion, bro. He needs to work on pass protection. That's it. Yes, he didn't give up a sack on the game-winning passing touchdown. Nobody did. He was the number one penalized offensive lineman in the draft. And I hope that he gets better. I really hope that he gets better. I'm not wishing him for the worst at all. I'm not wishing him for the worst. I am wishing him for the best. Just work on your technique as a pass blocker. That's it. That's all I said. So who stole $15 million from us? You talking about Trent Brown? Y'all, if anybody knows me in here, I can't stand Trent Brown. Yeah, I'm still doing calls. But I had to address what was being said while I was on another call. So I'm not answering the calls right now. So as of right now, y'all can say what y'all want about Leatherwood and how I feel about him. I don't care what y'all say about me. I don't care. But all I know is that I'm looking at it from a technique standpoint and what needs to be improved. But on that 3rd and goal, I don't care if it was a freaking hard count or not. You don't move. That's simple football. I don't care if it was a hard count. I don't care if it was a silent count. You don't move until the football is moved. You learn that in Pee Wee. You learn that in junior high. You learn that in college. You learn that in high school. It's no way. I don't care if y'all could give him an excuse all y'all want. If it was a hard count, if the crowd was moving, any of that, you don't move until the ball is moved, period. And I'm not just saying that just for Leatherwood. You can say that for any NFL lineman in this league. Because I say it to them too. You don't move until the ball is moved. It was a lot of penalties in week 1 in the NFL. And I said, why are you moving when the ball ain't moved? Hello? Why you not moving? Why you moving and the ball ain't moved? I'm not saying Eli, Peyton Manning, and Russell was all wrong. I'm saying it doesn't matter if it was a hard count or not. It doesn't matter. If it was a hard count, your ass still don't move. If you know the count and you know it's going to be a hard count, you still don't move. So they not wrong. So what if it was a hard count? You don't move. I got, as a former offensive lineman, I got my ass chewed out for me moving on a hard count. But the ball didn't move. So I got my ass chewed out for moving. It don't have nothing to do with Eli, Russell, and Peyton Manning got to say. They just as worse as the goddamn mainstream media. They just as worse. So I don't care what they have to say. Like I said, it's a hard count. You don't move. You learned that in your younger years. You don't move. You can say that for the best offensive linemen in football. I said it about Mitchell. I said it about Eric Fisher last year in the Super Bowl. You're conditioned to not move on hard counts. You practice that. You practice how you play. That's part of the game. You practice how you play. He's a rookie, but I don't care if you're a rookie or not. You practice how you play and you don't move. If you're going to move on the offensive line, you can't play this game. Thank you, man. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie or not. That's the part that a lot of y'all in this chat I'm not understanding y'all right now. I'm not understanding y'all right now. I play semi-pro and coach semi-pro out here in Philadelphia. I got paid to coach and play as a semi-pro player for 10 years. Doesn't matter if it's NFL or it's semi-pro. It doesn't matter. I coached it. I played it. I played just some of the best in the tri-state area in Philadelphia. I didn't go to college. But I coached with some of the best coaches in Philadelphia. Former Philadelphia Eagles was coaches on the coaching staff that I was on. It's nothing about being big mad, but move on. Move on, because I have haters in here as usual. Because if you don't have haters, you're not winning. Technique is technique. On to the next. Who want to take the next call? I'm not talking nonsense. It's not a comparison. Professional is professional. My football team that I played for, I traveled. I played in California. I played in Miami. I played in national championships. It doesn't matter. It's a lot of players that didn't make it to the NFL plays as semi-pro.
1909263.
Please.
0540.
Thank you for calling the Spotlight Raiders Talk with Spotlight. Who is this? Where you calling from?
What's up, Spotlight? This Dirty Raider.
What's going on, Dirty Raider? What's up, man?
What's up with you, Spotlight, man? Stop on Graphk, doing good, brother.
I'm doing good. I'm just worried about. I ain't worried about the haters. I know my credentials as a former player. I know my credentials as a former coach. I ain't worried about these people in the chat. I'm not, because they ain't making no sense.
Hey, man, you already know how we do, bro. You don't worry about the haters. You let them act, my guy.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I ain't worried. I don't have to prove nothing to them. I don't have to.
Yeah, if people ain't hating on you, you ain't doing your job, bro.
Facts.
But you know,
facts.
My whole reason for calling, one was to wish you well. Two, even though he's a rookie, you know what I mean? His whole life, he know when to move, when not to move. You know what I mean? But at the same time, people make mistakes. Even your veterans make mistakes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, right. It happens. You know what I mean? It was a bad time for it to happen. If it would have happened maybe 15, 20 minutes earlier, nobody'd be saying nothing. Fans wouldn't be mad. We wouldn't be mad. We wouldn't be having this conversation. But it happens every now and then.
It's part of the game. Hello? 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 What's going on?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, I hear you there.
Yeah, nah, man. I'm trying to put my work truck away at the same time.
Oh, no, you good. You good.
Yeah. You know I drive 12 hours a day, bro. So
right. I already know.
This place.
I know already.
Oh. Nah, man, I'm more concerned about the media saying, oh, well, the Ravens are just that bad. The Raiders aren't that good. I mean, what does our team literally have to do to get a little bit of respect from the media? Like,
listen,
what is it we got to do?
We got to make the playoffs. That's plain and simple. We got to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's only week one.
It's
you know
only.
What I mean, it's only week one.
And I feel you.
And
I feel you.
People are talking about, oh, Pittsburgh is this, but their offense is garbage. Yeah, they got a great defense. Their offense is garbage. Kansas City almost lost to Cleveland. Are you serious? You're going to tell me I'm not better than Kansas City? They almost lost to Cleveland. Minnesota loses to Cincinnati. You're going to tell me that Cincinnati is better than Vegas? You got to be out of your mind.
That's what it is. That's what happens, man. That's what happens when you are a Raiders fan, and that's what happens when you like the Las Vegas Raiders. Even when we was in 2016, a lot of people didn't have us going 12-4 that year. They didn't care for us. Why would they care for us now? That's why us as fans, we just had to support our team. Forget about the mainstream media. That's why I don't follow mainstream media like that. And this is why I don't like that's why I don't like former NFL players like Peyton Manning and Eli Manning get on things like ESPN, because now they talk like robots. They don't talk like players, they talk like robots. This is why I don't get into it. This is why I don't care what like people like say. Look, half of the sport, the mainstream media did not have us winning last night.
I don't think anybody had us winning except for David Carr. I think he was the only NFL analyst that had us.
And I think Steve Young was the only one out of his crew that picked the Raiders to win. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta like you tell me, don't feed into the fans that's in the chat. They entitled to their own opinion. That's just what it is. I'm not going to feed into it. I told myself I was not, but I'm not going to sit here and be disrespected of me being a former player and knowing what I know being a former player. I have championships to prove that, you know?
As a former player and a former coach, you know what I mean? Like I watched the film last night too. I don't think Leatherwood was that bad. I saw worse offensive line play on the other side of the ball. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, both sides played terrible.
Their line was garbage.
Yeah,
but you're gonna bring up my offensive line and how they play, and they're not even all starters. Some of them are first year starters, and they still outplay Baltimore, who's got a fantastic offensive line on paper.
I don't see the best player that they have on their offensive line is Ronnie Stanley. That's the only best offensive line that they have. When it comes to Lamar Jackson, the only way Lamar Jackson gets the yards that he has, because he has to scramble. His offensive line is not that great. And we seen that last night with our defensive line.
And that's what I'm saying. Their offensive line is not that great physically, but on paper, looking at their contracts, they all pro. They all pro players.
I mean, Baltimore got the money. Baltimore got the money.
Looking at the money they paying these players, you know, they making the same mistake we made a couple of years ago. We putting all this money into the offensive line. You ain't putting no weapons.
And they gotta pay for it. They gotta pay for it.
Right now, let me address these fans real quick, bro. While you got me on the line, I just want to address Raider Nation real quick. Like, it ain't no love lost. I got love for anybody that reps the shield.
Facts.
But
I agree.
Y'all cats need to stop being fair weather fans and quit jumping on Carr, quit jumping on the O-line, quit jumping on Gruden. Let the game finish first. I saw all of this shit in the first quarter, all the chats and everything. Oh, this and that. Oh, this and that. If you ain't a real fan, shut up. For real. If you ain't never caught a game in real life, shut up. For real. If you ain't never watched the game on television and sat and watched the whole game through, shut up. You don't have an opinion. You're telling me what everybody else is saying, and I'm sick of what everybody else is saying. Have your own goddamn opinion. Make up your own facts. Watch the game yourself. Then come and talk to me. But don't tell me something you heard Stephen A. Smith say this morning.
Exactly.
I don't need that from a fan.
Exactly.
You copycatting. You know what I mean? Watch the game yourself. See how our quarterback performs. He's leading the NFL after week 1. Well, will it happen week 2? I don't know. Do I hope it does? Of course I do.
Facts.
I hope he's the number one quarterback in the NFL this year, and he shuts everybody's mouth because I'm a big DC4 fan. I'm a big DC4 fan. Been a fan of him since he was in Fresno. So I'm not a new fan. You know, I know what the boy can do. I've seen him do it with nothing to work with. When we went 12-4, he had nothing to work with except for Crabtree and Cooper. That's it.
That's it.
We didn't have no great tight end. We didn't have a fabulous running back. What
We sure
had was
didn't.
a quarterback who was willing to put his shit on the line and get it done. But when he did that, that still wasn't enough for fans. They wanted more. So then he stopped. And if you go back and read a couple of his interviews, he'll tell you he stopped trying to please everybody because all he got was negativity in return. He put his life on the line. He broken back, still want to go out and throw. Broken hand, come back at halftime, like, coach, just put a glove on it. I'm good. How many NFL teams got quarterbacks like that? Just asking a question.
Listen, you took the words right out of my mouth, brother. I was in the chat last night and I was sitting here like, calm down. Calm down. Understand is calm down. I was telling him only thing there's a few things I can say about Carr that he needs to fix. Because he played a one man. Listen, he was 34, 56, 436 yards. I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that. But he
should have been 44.
He could have had 40 completions. I would have loved to see 40 completions.
Me too.
I would love to see that. But it's some like I'm saying about Alex Leatherwood. This is what I'm saying about Derek Carr, because you got to take the good with the bad when it comes to NFL players. Now, when it comes to the first half of Derek Carr, I can say this. Understand Waller is the best receiver on our football team. But if you want to get those double teams off of Darren Waller, you can't force the ball to him every single play. It's been drives where we saw Derek Carr just throw to Waller on all three downs. Where you had Renfro out there, where you had Ruggs out there. Brian Edwards came on in the second half. Carr looked better in the second half. But like I said, we got to address the good with the bad. Carr looked phenomenal. He did. But Waller is not the only receiver on that football field. I just feel bad for Brian Edwards and Ruggs, Zay Jones, and a few other. Well, Hunter Renfro was already out there. We already know that. But I feel like for Henry Ruggs and Brian Edwards, you got to get them involved early to get their momentum, to get their confidence going. And I feel like Carr was forcing. I feel like Carr was forcing to Waller a bit too much in that first quarter.
To an extent, yes. But what I did notice about all of that, with him forcing the Waller, right? That forced them later in the game to start covering Waller tighter and letting loose on some of these other receivers that was actually letting them get freed up. Because a lot of people are not looking, like you said, a lot of people don't watch the coach's film. When you go back and watch the coach's film, Ruggs and Edwards were being double teamed. But the way that Baltimore was double teaming them, you can't see it if you're not a former player or a coach. You can't see the man over the top and the man underneath running with the two wide receivers. You can't see it, right? So if I got Waller, he's on a double team, and I say I got Ruggs on a double team, who am I going to trust more to go up and get that ball on a double team? I'm going to trust Waller. He's a bigger frame, and he's proven, right?
Which is true.
Ruggs isn't that yet.
Ruggs
is not that yet.
Yeah, but Edwards is, though. Edwards is another big receiver.
Remember, he's a big receiver, but he's in his second year, and he's unproven still. So you gotta go with your proven wide receiver. Let's see what we can do. I
just feel like 19 targets was a bit too much. I just think 19 targets was a bit too much, because my thing is this, right? You could use Ruggs in any kind of way in this offense, not just him running routes. He's a speedster. You got to make him a little bit of a joker. And then Keon Drake, he was involved, but he wasn't involved like I thought he would be. That's another joker that you have. So, and then you have and then the thing about this, what you could have did was you started to see they put in the second half, they started to put Foster Moreau and Waller out there at the same time. Imagine if they would have did that in the first half. It would have took away the double team from Waller in that first half if you would have put Moreau in the game in that first half enough. So they did make the adjustments, and that's what I liked about John Gruden in the second half. He did make his adjustments because Carr only had a bad first quarter and a bad third quarter.
Yeah, he did. But you watch every game like I do, right? And I know you do. I know you watch every single game like I do. I haven't missed a Raider game in almost 18 years, my guy. I have not missed a single game in 18 years. But when you look at Gruden and how he coaches, he does not coach the second half like he coached the first half. It's two completely different game schemes. He does not run the second half what he ran in the first half, unless it's running plays. But when it comes to passing, everything flip-flops. Everything changes. All the receivers become different. All the targets become different. I'm back to
Where you go, bro? Your phone breaking up, bro.
Oh, my bad, man. Man, I got a shitty area by work, bro.
No, you all good.
Cut the call short. I'm gonna definitely holler back at you, bro. I got your number.
Yeah, definitely holler back at me, bro. No problem.
I got you, pimp. Take it easy.
All right, you too.
All right.
Look, I don't mind making the adjustments during the game. I just feel like some of those plays, like if you throw the Waller 3 straight times, Dirty was keeping it real. Dirty Raider was keeping it real. That's a fact. But I don't hear any news on it yet, y'all. I don't hear any news on Yannick Ngakoue because I follow it on Twitter, y'all. I follow it on Twitter. And I don't hear anything.
San Bernardino.
And thank you for calling the Spotlight Raiders Talk with Spotlight. Who is this and where you calling from?
What's up, big dog? It's Raider Pete, man. How you been, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you been? What's up?
Oh, man, it's Victory Tuesday. I'm out here feeling fresh, feeling good. Man, being a Raider fan today, it's probably the best feeling in the world. You know what I mean? Shit, we got that dub. But I just want to chop it up a few things, man. I mean, I've been looking at the comments and, there's fans and, I'm going to say this first. I love all y'all, but I'm going to go ahead and throw in my 2 cents.
Go ahead, man.
My thing is, man, like, people there's a difference between NFL and semi-pro. Listen, if you get paid to play a sport, you are a professional. End of story. End of story. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you get paid a salary to play a game, you are a professional. Semi-pro, NFL, CFL, Europe, I don't give a damn.
Arena.
What football, what country you're living in.
Right.
Arena, exactly. You are a professional. Let's just put that to rest. So, obviously, you've been stating the obvious. There's a lot of people in the comments that obviously haven't smelt the football, haven't touched the football, haven't seen a football field up until Sunday. Like, just, if you really don't know what you're talking about, do yourself a favor and just sit there and enjoy the show. But anyways, with that being said, man, let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of Ravens fans who have been saying, man, we're going to blow them out. You were on a podcast the other day with some Raven fans. You remember that dude who was like, oh, we're going to blow them out 53-7 or 53-3. I forgot the score he gave me. As soon as we won that game, that was the first dude I thought of. And I know he's hearing me right now. Hey, guess who's smiling, homie? Exactly. Let me tell you something. We went up against a top-tier defense. Only had a couple of people off. There were key players. I'll give them that. Marcus Peters, Jimmy Smith, and Derek Wolfe. Well, guess what? We had injuries too. Ngakoue left the game early. Denzel Good went down. Like, yo, let's not play the injury card, okay? Because the Raiders have injuries too, just like every other team in this damn league. It comes with the game.
Yes.
So when people say, "Oh, we didn't have this, we didn't have that," well, guess what? We didn't have this, and we didn't have that, and we came back and we punched you guys right in your mouth in our house, kicked your asses out, and went back and enjoyed a beer. That's what we did. So that's what the fucking Raiders do. So let me tell you something. All this offseason, people have been like, "Oh, you know, we know about the Raiders' offense, but we don't know about the defense." Well, guess what? You know about the defense now. You know we have a defense,
right?
And I can't wait to see what people have to say. Because let's put it out there, man. A lot of people don't know the roots of the Raiders, but ever since Al Davis won a lawsuit against Pete Rozelle, the NFL has hated the Raiders. I don't know if you guys got ESPN Plus. Go ahead and watch Al Davis versus the NFL. There's a reason why they made that, to let people know that the NFL hates us because of Al Davis. Not saying I hate Al Davis. I fucking love that guy. That's the Godfather. But my thing is, that's the reason why they hate the Raiders so much. They don't care. Like you were saying earlier in the podcast, like Peyton Manning and Eli, they go onto TV. They don't talk like players, bro. They talk like, oh yeah, all professional, and they got the earbud in their ear with the producers telling them what to say, what not to say. Nah, that's all bullshit, bro.
They talking like Hall of Famers. They're not talking like the Hall of Famers. Yeah. They're talking to like robots, and they reading off a teleprompter. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yep.
And this is how I know, Raider P. This is how I know. Listen. I used to attend Full Sail University. Full Sail University in Florida, in Orlando, Florida, have their own podcasting, broadcasting, degree at that time. They didn't have it. Now they have it. The Dan Patrick Show, he runs that program. Every part of a broadcaster for any sport, you read off a teleprompter. They do tell you what to say, even in the play-by-play by ESPN. And you know how I know? Because I saw it with my own two hands.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's obvious. Like me, I don't have to see. I believe you, trust me. But I don't have to see it to believe. I know it. Like these guys, it just kind of kills it because, like, damn, hell yeah, we're gonna, listen to a Hall of Famer. We're gonna listen to some real pros. No, it's all bullshit. You're going to get producers around here, which is bullshit. Anyways, and another thing I want to point out to Ravens fans is they're like, oh, we got to get rid of Villanueva. What's his name? Villanueva, the right tackle, who got freaking manhandled by my boy, the Condor. Max Crosby was going fucking crazy. But let me tell you something. People are like, oh, we got to get rid of him. We got to get rid of him. Guess what? You guys are entitled to your own opinion, but in my opinion, the best O-lineman on that line is Villanueva. People are saying, "Oh, he sucks." No.
Villanueva is good. Him and Ronnie Stanley, them two. They're the only two that's good on that line.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, they're solid. I'll give them that. But my thing is, people are saying that Villanueva sucks. Nah, it's not that. It's just that the Condor is too good.
Right.
Last night was a statement game, not only for the Raiders, but Max Crosby he's looking like the real motherfucking deal. Like the real deal, homie. Like this dude was stopping the run. I think he had two targets for a loss, 2 sacks, and he had, I think, 8 pressures or something. So in all realness, Max Crosby, he technically had 12 sacks yesterday because he was knocking Lamar Jackson on his ass, making him, uncomfortable, and when you get uncomfortable, when you're running the ball, guess what? You fumble twice and give it to the Raiders, and we punch you in your fucking face in our fucking house. That's what happened. And let me tell you something else. People, especially our defensive coordinator, Gus Bradley, people are starting to figure out Lamar Jackson. So all you Raven fans who think that, oh, yeah, he's a quarterback at the end of the day. Just like Steve Young was saying early in the Monday Night Football showdown, he was saying, like, man, like, I get it. He's a good runner. But he needs to throw the damn ball. You're a quarterback, not a running back.
There's no way. There's a way.
Accuracy sucks.
It's no way that you're a quarterback leading your team and rush it. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you, and you know what? I'm going to be real with you, too. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Raiders fan. But if you have a quarterback like that, you are never, ever going to win a Super Bowl. Ever.
Facts.
Ever. And you know why? remember when they made the playoffs? I think it was Lamar Jackson's first year or second. I forget. He took over Joe Flacco. He took over the job from Joe Flacco.
Yeah, he did.
Playoffs,
yeah, they went to the playoffs, and then next year
in the playoffs,
and then they went 14-2 the next year, and they lost in the playoffs again. They didn't win till last year.
Playoffs, they got their asses handed to them.
Yeah,
and what the Ravens fans, what were they yelling out? Oh, we want Flacco. No. And then even the Ravens players were like, how do you think we got into the playoffs? Because of Lamar Jackson. But guess what, dude? When you start to step into the playoffs, you're stepping to the top of the league. People who actually got you figured out. You see what I'm saying? So Lamar Jackson, you're like the Tony Romo of our era. You're looking so good during the regular season. You're looking so fresh during the regular season, but come playoffs, you get punched in the mouth and you go home. That's what happened. So all you Ravens fans who were talking that smack, man, we seriously dominated. We were down 14-0, and you guys had the league MVP. You guys had mostly healthy offense and defense. Like, you guys have no freaking excuse. We came with a better team. That is where it is. The whole league knows that the Raiders are the real deal this year because we have a defense. Fucking finally, dude. Finally, we gave Carr the ball back. How many times yesterday?
We made Lamar fumble the ball twice.
Right, but I mean, wait, was it twice? Yeah, you're right. It was
twice. Yeah, it was one in overtime. It was one in overtime, and there was one in the first half.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. You're right. So, I mean, our defense came when it matters. Let's be honest, as Raiders fans, I expected us to lose yesterday. Like, I was like, same old Raiders. Like, we get this close, and we get fucked. Just like last year. We were only one play away from going, 12-4 last year. But, we got together, and that's the thing that's going to make us gel. I never heard of our backup guard. What's his last name? It's a long-ass name.
It begins with an N. I'm like, who is this guy? I have no clue who this guy was.
I was like, dude, this dude is manhandling Calais Campbell. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And then I look him up. I think it's his first time starting with us, and I think he's a rookie, or I don't know what the hell. But my thing is, dude, Tom Cable, you are the fucking shit. I doubt he's listening. I mean, I hope he's listening, but I mean, if you hear me, dude, you are the fucking shit. Like, to have a offensive line to be like, oh man, I'm not worried about, our depth, because Tom Cable, he's coaching these guys up, and they looked phenomenal yesterday. Now, I get you, man. You were saying about Alex Leatherwood. He does need to shore up on that pass block. Now, my thing is, we're a run-heavy team, okay? So that's why we got Leatherwood, because we're going to be running the ball down people's throats.
Exactly.
But we know that we can coach him up to be a good pass blocker. Because I'm going to give him his props on pass blocking yesterday too. Yeah, he gave up one sack. I get it. It happens to the best of the best players in this league. It happens.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
My thing is, people need to realize that this is his first game as a professional player, and DC doesn't throw the most yards in the NFL, 436 yards or something like that. And I'm going to say it like John Gruden would say it. Somebody's blocking. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, Alex Leatherwood, yeah, that's his weak spot, the pass blocking, but there's times where he dominates when he pass blocks. But he just has to develop consistency. You see what I'm saying? He run blocking, man. He can run over Calais Campbell. He can run over anybody.
Oh, he can dominate.
When it comes to pass,
I just need.
Yeah.
That's why I said that's why I said what I said when it came to Alex Leatherwood. I want him to work on his technique as a pass blocker.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not talking bad about him when I say he needs to work with his technique. I'm just saying from what we saw. Yeah, he played well last night. He did have some good points where he was in pass blocking, but I feel like the sack that he had in that play alone, if he would have got his kick back and drove his hands into the defender instead of playing patty cake with him, it wouldn't have been a sack.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
People exactly. So people need to realize that when you're being, not judgmental, but how do you say it? Like when being hard on somebody or pointing out that they need to work on something, it's not people think like, oh, that's negative. You're talking shit. No, it's not talking shit if it's real. Okay, that would be like me going out and being like, oh, like let's just throw out an elite player and just say, I don't know, Jerry Rice. Let's just say Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
me coming out there. Okay, that's like me coming out here like, oh, Jerry Rice team did nothing. Like, come on, bro. Like, he did this and this and this season. That's just being a hater. That's just being an asshole. But when you're evaluating a player and you're pointing out the spots they need to improve on, it's not to knock them. It's to help them. You see what I'm saying? Like, the word gets out quick. People realize that fans talk, our talk will always get to the coaches. I don't care what anybody says. I think what's his name? Mayock was saying that, oh yeah, I've been hearing the fans talking about this and that. So I know it gets to them. They hear it. They're on social media. You know what I'm saying? They're on Instagram. They're on Twitter. They hear and see what we have to say. So if we keep saying stuff like, hey, Alex Leatherwood, he needs to work on his fastball, best believe it's going to get down to them eventually. So, you know what I mean? Like, people need to really think about what they say. Like, just because we're evaluating a player and pointing out their weaknesses doesn't mean that, Darian hates Leatherwood. I mean, at the end of the day, he has a shield on the side of his helmet, and I don't give a fuck what your name is, what round we drafted you, if you're a free agent, what the hell we traded for you. I don't give a damn. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is when you have that shield on your side of your helmet, I got your back. And even though Darian points out some flaws on players like Leatherwood and all of them, doesn't mean he's hating. It's meaning that he wants to see them flourish. He wants to see them improve. So people need to realize that pointing out flaws is not negative. It's not negativity. It is when you say it is. Right. You see what I'm saying? Then it becomes a problem. And then you start talking shit and you start getting personal. Like, come on now. Like, we're all grown adults. I think we are. You know what I mean? Like, let's be cool about it, because at the end of the day, man, stats, fuck who blocked, fuck who, tackled who. We fucking won. That's all that fucking matters. That is it. That's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. You know what? You can throw 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, and unless you win, I don't give a damn.
Right. The stats ain't gonna mean nothing if you don't win.
Exactly. If you come up to me and say, "Oh, your quarterback threw for 200 yards and he had a pick and 1 touchdown. My quarterback had 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, and what else? Oh, but did you guys win? No, but our stats, man, we look good. Okay, are your stats going to get you into the playoffs? Well, no. Okay, what is? Winning. Exactly. Sit your ass down. You Ravens fans don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The Ravens are overrated trash. Yes, I said it. Come see me. Don't at me. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest, man. But, this win, and I don't know if you remember me telling you, but this win was a statement win for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean? People, and the one thing where how I know, I'm not going to even talk about that shiny trophy at the end of the year. Not yet. But
yeah,
we
still got 16 weeks to go.
Yeah, exactly. So my thing is, at the end of the day, dude, what really showed me, like, damn, you know what? We're about to go far this season, way far, was the camaraderie, the family-like feeling, seeing our Raiders on the field, hugging and throwing each other around and just getting into it with the fans. Like, it was just like, damn, dude, this is a fucking team. And at the end of the day, you can have a roster that is deadly. But if you don't have that camaraderie, that gel, that, hey, man, I got your back. When we go to war, I'm going to smack the dude right next to you type of thought, you're not going nowhere. I don't give a damn how good you are. You see what I'm saying? It's all about the camaraderie, the gel. And the last thing I'm going to bring up to you is, I'm not going to lie, man. Derek Carr, he pissed me off the first half. I'm pretty sure he pissed off a lot of people. And I am a Derek Carr lover. He's the first jersey I ever bought. Like, I love Derek Carr. He's going to do big things. He showed me yesterday that no matter how down he gets on himself or on the team, he's going to come back and he's going to make up for it. And that's exactly what he did. But my thing is, that first half, this is why I was saying that our starters need to play more during the preseason, because I kind of feel like the first half yesterday, they were kind of knocking the dust off of, the off season and kind of chilling back while they saw the second, third, and fourth stringers play. I kind of feel like it's vital for our first team. I know we have the scrimmage against the Rams, but I think it's vital that our first team needs to gel more before the real season starts. People might say, well, I mean, you're gonna risk them. Guess what? And I live by this saying since I don't know when, but life's a risk. I don't know. Like, look at Denzel Good. He tore his ACL. He's out for the entire season. I can't believe that happened. But anyways, my thing is, it could happen the first game. It can happen the first preseason game. It can happen in the Super Bowl. Nothing is guaranteed in this league. So when people say, oh, let's play it safe, you're not playing it safe because, look, we held out good most of the preseason, and look what happened. He tore his ACL the first game. Like, anything can happen on any day. But my thing is, we need to kind of gel more when it comes to the preseason. That way, when we start, we're not looking like we did the first half of the game yesterday. You see what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that I would recommend that we do heading forward, starting next season. Like, more starters need to play. More starters need to see some action and kind of get, that warm up, kind of wet their whistle for the first game of the season. But man, let me tell you something. Yesterday, seeing the offense just tear it up, come back, everyone stuck together from special teams. AJ Cole, dude, he was bombing that football down the motherfucking field. Props to that dude. He was kicking 60-yard punts like it was nothing. But anyways, all three phases came together yesterday, and we never gave up. That's why we won. We love each other. We're looking out for each other, and we have tremendous depth. So, man, we're looking super, super good. And I'll tell you what, the Steelers are a lot worse than the Ravens. So all you Steelers fans, you thought you saw a show yesterday? Watch Sunday when we go to Pittsburgh and punch them in their mouth. You ain't seen nothing yet. We're just getting started. But you know what? We're back to 0-0. We're not 1-0 right now. We're 0-0. We're taking this one game at a time. Okay? Right. One game at a time. We're 0-0 again. This week, we got to get to 1-0 again. You see what I'm saying? We're not looking at the task once we're in front of it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, Max Crosby, you did your thing. I need you to do it this week too. Yeah, Derek Carr, you came back. If it happens again, whatever, I need you to go ahead and do that again. What's in the past is in the past. Now we got to focus on Pittsburgh, and best believe we're coming guns motherfucking blazing, brother. And it's going to be beautiful. But my bad, man. I know you got more callers coming in. But
actually, you're the last call.
My 2 cents.
Actually, you're the last call.
Oh, I am? Okay. Well,
you're the last.
I'm going to go ahead and stay on for another I'm going to stay on for another 45 minutes. No, I'm playing.
No, but I just wanted to throw this out there, too. For people that watched the show on Wednesday, when I did have the YouTube guys on there, when I did have them on there, I said the game was going to be 34. Hello? Oh, I thought hello? Oh, damn. It cut off on my phone just died. The phone that I used to do it died. That sucks. The phone died, y'all. But I hope Raider Pete comes back in the chat. I wanted to say this. When I had the Raiders people on there, the Ravens guys on there on Wednesday, I made my prediction. I don't know if y'all was in the chat, but I made my prediction 34-27. What was the score? 33-27. That is mind-boggling to me that I was that close to having the game correctly. You've been calling for the last 10 minutes. I know I've been talking to Raider Pete on there, man. I've been talking to Raider Pete on there. So I'm going to have you call on my personal phone. I'm going to have you. We're going to talk. I had Raider Pete. Raider Pete was going off, man. My prediction was wrong, but I was 1 point off. I was 1 point off. I said 34-27. That's what I said. 34-27, and it was 33-27. So I was that close. Spotlight, how you doing, my guy? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just give me a second, all aboard Raiders. Just give me a second. Hang up and just give me a sec. I gotta set it up on via Bluetooth. I gotta set it up on via Bluetooth. Give me a second. So we're gonna make that call. So with that being said, y'all, let me set it up for him. I have all aboard day Raiders come on here. Let me just set up the Bluetooth for him real quick on my personal phone. Just give me a second. Because the phone died. The phone died, Raider Pete. I'm so sorry. I love you, brother. I love you, Raider Pete. But the other phone that I use to make calls, should I buy a lottery ticket as well? Hey, you let me know. You let me know the numbers. I would love to do a lottery ticket, bro. All aboard there. Call in, bro. Call in. Call in. I'm waiting for you, brother. Call in.
Unknown caller.
Yo, brother, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? You on the show? What's good?
I know this is the only way I could get on is if I call in. What's up with that?
Yeah, I've been trying to get you on the show for a while. I had COVID. I was I was out for 10 days and finally trying to get myself back into doing this. But
no, I know. Buddy.
It's like you busy, I'm busy. It's like we could never get together, man. It's crazy.
It's the worst. No, I'm just messing with you. I just wanted to call in for a second, just ask what happened. I thought the offensive line was supposed to suck. What happened?
I mean, who said the offensive line was supposed to suck? Because I didn't say nothing about that.
No, not you. All these people that get paid 7 figures to talk on these different networks have been dogging the offensive line for the last 6 months, and they came out there just punched Calais Campbell in the mouth for 5 quarters. I
mean, I'm gonna say it like I said to the rest of them. You could take the good with the bad with the offensive line. They play good. They had some bad plays, but they play good overall.
100%.
100%.
And the thing is, like, when you drop back 60 times, of course you're going to give up a couple sacks now.
You drop it back damn near 60 times. I expect me to get sacked.
Oh, 100%. and there were times like that. I think back to like that Ruggs 3rd and 10, 30-yard bomb where Carr almost hit the ceiling with the ball. He had the pocket. I was shocked how clean the pocket was at a couple of these throws.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Leatherwood played pretty well, all things considered.
I don't know. I don't know. I probably just see it from a different perspective than everybody else. I see it from a technique perspective. Like I just feel like, his jump back could be a little bit better. His stance could be a little bit better in the pass blocking. Flip his hips, drive his hands into the defense's chest instead of for him to mess with the swims and the under. Just stay in your base. Sometimes he gets out of base, and I just see it from a technique standpoint. I'm not saying he's a bad player. It's just the technique.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think the best thing, the most positive I could be about him is that, to me at least, and I know it's only one game, so we can't really say anything positive or negative.
Right.
But to me at least, he looks better than Colton Miller was his rookie year. Like Colton Miller, I remember at times thinking, "Oh, we wasted the pick." Like specifically, like the Bronco game, I remember him just getting destroyed. And fast forward to now, he's the top 5 left tackle.
Okay,
so I think to me that's like Leatherwood was a high floor guy. He could play right now. He's not going to be a top 20 right tackle, but the better he gets, I mean, he's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, he has a lot of potential, and I think he played very well against the run. He played 100%. Very well against the run, and he was like that at Alabama. I just had an issue.
Well against the run in the 3 times we handed the ball off.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, man, that was a crazy game. I've been on cloud 9 for like 24 straight hours.
I was drinking last night, and the way I was in the chat, man, I'm surprised I'm doing this show right now, honestly.
Well, dude, I'm at Penn State right now. It's my junior year, and I had a Spanish test this morning. I could have got a 0 on that and not cared at all. I was rocking the Raiders jersey, just running up and down campus.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have been too.
Last thing I'll say is I think people are done talking negatively about Carr. I think that's just officially squashed after that performance. Are you kidding me?
If you have any excuses for Derek Carr, I mean, not excuses, but if you have anything bad to say about Derek Carr, don't come in this live chat. Don't do it.
You know what's crazy is that if he was a little bit off in the first half, yeah, so was Aaron Rodgers for the whole game.
The whole game for Aaron Rodgers, huh?
But okay, so if he was on in the first half, what, he would have thrown for 600 yards? Like, what are we talking about?
That would have been insane.
If we would have won 50-27. It wouldn't have made it to overtime, and he would have had 650 and 7 touchdowns.
Talk to him.
It's
to him.
Math. He threw for 430. What? Him and Kyler are 1-2 right now for MVP. I know it's week 1, and that's kind of dumb to say, but people like to do that. Oh, who's your week 1 MVP? It's Kyler and it's Carr.
Facts, bro. You right on point with it.
Yeah.
How you feel about hearing about Denzel Good being out for the year?
Yeah, that stinks. You could tell as soon as it happened something was wrong. Him and McCoy both are probably done for the year. But I thought Simpson was pretty good. I thought he held his own, and that other guy whose name I'd never seen in my life.
We was just talking about that on the last call.
I don't even remember him playing in the preseason. I don't know if they just grabbed that guy from the crowd and put him in the game. But
no, I know who he is. That is the guy that used to play for the New England Patriots. He was on the practice squad. We signed him. We signed him off waivers from the Patriots practice squad, and he got picked up with us.
And then they just threw him into the fire and said, "Go block Calais Campbell."
Right.
And he did it. That's crazy.
Thank you, New England. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And the funniest thing was Trent Brown was already in the tent within 6 plays of that game. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like the least worried I am, like if you made me pick, and this is a terrible thing to do, but if you said what's the one spot in the offensive line where if I had to pick an injury, where would it be? It would be guard. I don't think we could afford to have Miller, Leatherwood, or Andre James out. So it's a pick your poison kind of thing. I think we got the lesser of it. If Incognito comes back, then it's just Simpson, and I think that's fine. And then we do a lot of 3 tight end stuff either way. So I'm not worried about Carr running around there. I think he's going to be just fine in that pocket.
Yeah, he will definitely be fine in that pocket. Absolutely.
But yeah, the Mariota thing was crazy too. That run, I couldn't believe he got in the game that early. That run was crazy. He got hurt too. And
he re-aggravated his quad that he was going. He was struggling with.
Cam. What do you think? Should we go get Cam?
I don't think Cam want to come in and be a backup, and that's the issue with Cam Newton.
Well, he's not going to play ever again then.
Exactly, and I think that's really the issue with Cam Newton, because if we go get Cam Newton as a backup, the question is, will Cam Newton buy in?
Well, here's the thing about Cam Newton. I would, if I'm Mayock or Gruden or whoever actually makes the picks for us, because it's all still unclear. I bring him in and say, you could go to any other team and be a backup and never see the field, or you could come play for us and you can get 15 snaps a game. Like, what other team could offer him that?
Right now, the only team that really needs a quarterback outside of a backup quarterback is us, is the Washington football team, because Fitzpatrick's on IR. So if I'm the Washington football team, I'll go and get Cam Newton, but Cam Newton would start there before he comes to the Raiders and start.
I don't think he would.
He will start there.
Rivera had a chance to get him before Cam went to the Patriots, and he traded for Kyle Allen instead.
I mean, I don't think the Washington football team is really, sold on Sam Heineke being a starter going into next week. I just don't know. I mean, who the hell is Sam Heineke anyway? Like, we really don't know who that guy is. So Washington football team is the only one that really needs a starting quarterback out of all 32 teams. So going to get Cam's going to want to start. And I think we're just not the best fit for him.
I get that. And to be honest with you, even if we did sign him, and this might be a controversial take, and I might get ridiculed for this. If we did sign him, he wouldn't be the backup. He would come in for those run plays, but if Carr got hurt, I'd put Peterman in before I put Cam in.
Hey. And Peterman was inactive last night.
Better thrower of the football than Cam Newton right now.
And Peterman was
saying that.
Yeah, right. We talked about Peterman all preseason. Now we don't want to bring him up again. We don't want to bring him up again.
But yeah, listen, I'm gonna head out here. I need to get some food, but I appreciate you taking my call. We'll get together at some point. I'm happy you're healthy, and I'll tell you what, Big Ben's not Lamar. I hope he has some vintage scrambles in him.
Right. Thank you for calling up, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, you too, man.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So that is the end of the show today. We are 2 hours and almost 30 minutes into the show. I will be back live tomorrow with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Las Vegas Raiders preview, 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, due to the fact that I had to go off the schedule for the Still Twins. The Still Twins will be on the show tomorrow to talk about the preview of the Las Vegas Raiders going into Pittsburgh for week 2 in the Pittsburgh game. You don't want to miss that live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I might do a call-in show right after that. I'm not too sure. But I do want to thank everyone for coming in. I know we had our agrees and disagrees, but we still are Raider Nation at the end of the day. Top B said, yo, what do you think about Leatherwood in the line? Like I said before, he was great against the run. I think he just got to work on a little bit of his technique in the passing game. But outside of that, overall, the offensive line played well. Like I said, the good come with the bad. You got to criticize it. Sometimes you got to give people their roses in the same token when you're talking about topics. At the end of the day, you just can't say he was good. Sometimes you got to look at it. Okay, he did good, but what can he work on to be better? That's all I've been saying. A lot of people left the chat. I don't know if other Raider people are live or not, but is any live shows tonight by Raiders YouTubers? I am not too sure. You never know with Docs. Docs go live almost every damn night, so you never know. I might be in the chat for that. So make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, Spotlight Sports Network. I think they having the Raider Honcho and Docs podcast tonight. I think it's called Get the Strap Podcast. Make sure y'all do that. And make sure y'all go to RaiderHoncho.com and go get your Raider Nation everything. That's my boy. Make sure y'all go check his stuff out. Make sure y'all go to SpotlightSportsGear.com and type in Spotlight Raiders Talk and get your Spotlight Raiders Talk merch. We are there. And make sure you go to OakLasVegas.com for Doc's merch as well. Doc got some dope merch. I always wear the Al Davis t-shirt. Definitely got to get some more merch of that. So make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It's the Spotlight Raiders Talk, Spotlight Sports Network. I do have a second channel called Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure y'all subscribe to that. I love y'all, man. I love everybody that comes into the chat. I know that we have our disagreements. I know we have our arguments, but that's part of what family does. That's part of what Raiders family does. This is what we do. This is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. But thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all at 2:00 Eastern Standard Time for another show. God bless. Have a good night.
commiserator, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that O-line. Car insurance cost the arm and the leg to reach that goal line. It's go time.